Namaskar and welcome to In Focus. Once again, the country's politics are in a state of flux, and this time it's because the Congress party has pulled the rug from under the United Front. But why has the party done it? What does it hope to achieve? And how do congressmen see its prospects? Here to answer the questions is one of the most senior Congress leaders, a former Chief Minister of Kerala, a former Union Industry Minister, and a member of the CWC, K Karunakaran. Mr. Karunakaran, let me begin by asking you, why was all of this done in so much secrecy?
Regarding the decision,
Yes.
there is no such a secrecy was there.
You sprung a surprise. The papers say that Mr. Kesri went first to Ames before he went to Rashtrapati Bhavan to avoid being followed by IB police cars. The whole thing was done with a cloak and dagger appearance.
When the decision was taken, then naturally it should be implemented at the earliest. So the working committee discussed in detail and authorized the President to take appropriate action on the basis of the views expressed by members.
But, Mr. Karunakaran, there was no hint of this on Friday, on Saturday. There was no hint of this even on Sunday morning. Suddenly at 12:30, almost like a magician, Mr. Kesri pulled the plug.
It is not so. First, we had the meeting of the CWC and indicated.
Which meeting are you talking about?
It was, I think, November.
4 months ago.
Yeah, hear me. Then we said, things are going bad. Unless you correct yourself, we will be forced to think otherwise. Then we made certain charges, I mean so to say, the failure of the government, and asked the government to correct themselves again. Finally, before we took this decision, we said our unconditional support is no more. Our support will be issue-based.
That was on the 16th of February.
Yeah.
6 weeks ago.
Yeah, hear me. 6 weeks is not a long period in politics.
Tell me something. Has the CWC met officially after that date?
Yeah,
When?
at about 3:30.
After you had withdrawn support.
Before that there was a meeting.
An official formal meeting of the
Yeah,
CWC?
yeah.
This
And
is
you see, after the
this is very important. Let me clarify. There was a meeting of the CWC before Mr. Kesri met the president?
Yeah,
At what time?
not that day. You see, you should know the procedure and how the party function. The Congress Working Committee discussed this issue of support to the UF government. Then we, members individually also, expressed their views. By and large, I may say to a certain extent.
But the last formal meeting was on 16th February.
Please hear me. I am in a hurry. There are certain procedures for the Congress. The Congress Working Committee authorized the President to take appropriate action for make the government understand that unless even the last moment they correct themselves, we have no other alternative
But to withdraw support.
but withdraw.
Mr. Rajesh Pilot, a member of the working committee, Mr. Sharad Pawar, a member of the working committee, are on record in interviews saying that because the decision to give support to the UF was a working committee decision, only the working committee can revoke it, and that the president cannot do so without consulting the working committee in advance.
If they said so, I don't think, because they know the Constitution. The working committee decision...
Mr. Forgive me, but
Hear
Mr.
me,
Rajesh
hear
Pilot
me,
said
hear
it
me,
was in
hear
an
me.
interview.
The working committee decision is altered by the working committee. The CWC met and discussed this issue. Finally, what we should do was also discussed. Instead of announcing our decision, we said before we take decision, we should also consult certain people and for which we authorized the Congress President to do so, and after discussing with them, to take an appropriate decision by himself. That means any decision taken by Congress President is the decision of the CWC.
Why then did Mr. Sharad Pawar, the leader of the party in the Lok Sabha, describe this as a bolt out of the blue?
No, I don't wish to make any controversy on that. Maybe the date of announcement or time of announcement might have not told earlier. According to me, it should not.
But was he consulted before Mr. Kesri met the president?
Yeah,
He was.
he consulted most of the members.
When you say most, did he consult Mr. Sharad Pawar
He consulted Sharad Pawar also.
before meeting the president?
Ah,
Did he consult Rajesh Pilot before meeting the president?
I don't know that. I know.
Because Rajesh Pilot was in the northeast.
I know, he consulted Mr. Pawar, I was also there.
But he may not have consulted Rajesh Pilot. You concede
That
that?
I don't know. I don't
What about Mr. Balram Jhakkar, who was in Rajasthan? Was he consulted?
Yeah, you see, when the Congress President is authorized to take decision in consultation with certain people, he consulted them and decided what the Congress should do. Under the Congress Constitution, when once the President is authorized, he is supreme on that decision.
Perhaps, but to take such a dramatic decision when three senior leaders, two of whom are adversaries of his, Sharad Pawar and Rajesh Pilot,
No, it is-
are out of the city.
What
when
do you
three
mean by,
leaders are out of
I'm
the city,
sorry,
it's
what do you,
suspicious.
I'm sorry, what do you mean by senior?
Isn't Sharad Pawar senior?
Of course,
Isn't Rajesh Pilot senior?
is he senior?
You're
On
questioning
what
that.
sense? No, I'm not questioning. You tell me, I don't know.
He's a member of the working
When-
committee,
When you are asking me about
which is the highest policy-making forum of the party.
Is it the seniority?
So the working committee is
But,
not a
yeah,
sign
I
of
don't know.
seniority.
See, I don't know. When you are telling senior,
All right,
senior,
let's come
I
back.
don't.
At the
I
last-
don't. I don't wish to interfere.
But you're questioning his seniority.
No,
Okay.
I'm not questioning.
But let's move on to a more substantive issue. At the last executive committee meeting of the Congress Parliamentary Party, Mr. Kesri assured the CPP that he would consult them before any decision to withdraw support was taken. Now, they weren't consulted.
Where do you get this information?
The newspapers,
Newspaper is not the record of the Congress.
members of the Congress Parliamentary
No,
Party
you
are
see,
themselves saying so.
number of things are appearing in the press, but you cannot be taken as the decision of the Congress.
So clarify this for me. Are you
No
saying that no
clarification
such
is easy. When
commitment?
once the Congress working committee discuss in detail and authorize the Congress person, nobody can question his decision. That is the Congress constitution.
But
And
are
that's
you
the
also
Congress tradition also.
Sure, but are you also saying, Mr. Karunakaran, that no commitment was ever given to the CPP to consult them in advance of withdrawing support?
Never Kesariji mentioned to the CPPC, it is not mandatory to consult.
Okay. It may not be mandatory, but he did say he would consult them.
That of course he took the members into confidence.
But no,
and it should.
he took individuals, but not
No,
the executive committee as a whole.
I say meeting the individuals is to know their views.
But you
When
are
the Congress
also
person,
saying,
hear me, when the Congress President is authorized to take decision, he did not take on his own. He consulted members, he consulted MPs, he consulted CWC members, he consulted all concerned people of the Congress.
then what do you,
else he wanted?
then
He
what
should-
do you say to your own parliamentary colleagues who say that Mr. Kesri went back on his word to consult the executive committee of the CPP?
I don't know. I'm not expected to answer that question.
Why?
Well, because if somebody else said, he did not tell me.
You mean to say it's Mr. Kesri's responsibility? He made the commitment, you didn't. That's what you're
This
saying.
This is not known to
Okay.
People
let
like
me move to a different subject. We've
Okay.
discussed at great length this issue of the secrecy. You insist that your party was consulted fully and adequately. Your party keeps saying, just like Mr. Sharad Pawar or Mr. Pilot, that this is a bolt out of the blue. But leave that aside. Let's come to the reasons. Are you surprised by the fact that practically no one in the press and very few people in the country accept the reasons given by Mr. Kesri in his letter?
It shows that even the Congress President can keep media from knowing things in the Congress.
Well, that's one possible interpretation. The media, of course, as you know very clearly, has interpreted it very differently. The media says...
Media failed.
The media failed?
Yeah, failed in getting...
The media failed
Media failed in getting information. So Kesari was very nicely, very competently maintained secrecy.
Does it make you very proud that you fooled the media?
We did not fool the media. But media could not get the information. I will never say,
okay.
I will be the last person to fool the media.
Let's come back.
Media is our really...
Let's come back to my original question, which is, the media claims that the Congress party has only withdrawn support because you're scared of the involvement of senior leaders in court cases.
Absurd.
Really absurd?
Absurd.
There is absolutely no fear of Mr. Kesari's involvement in what's called the physician's case?
We know how to face a judicial process.
What about the 2.5 crore donation case to Congress?
Whatever it may be, we are not bothered about it.
What about your own FIR in the...
Congress is not annoyed of this. Congress is not worried about it.
What about your own FIR in the palm oil case?
Absolutely.
Is that something that worries you?
My palm oil issue was decided by the Supreme Court.
So the Congress in no way has done this to preempt investigations, inquiries or court cases?
No, not at all.
Then let's come to the second reason that's being talked about. People say that Mr. Kesari's own position as Congress president is shaky because of defeats in Punjab, the Chhindwara by-election, the Nagaur by-election, and he's not even certain of winning the Congress party's own presidential election. That's why he's done this.
You can make any allegation, but this is baseless. See, before also, in certain elections, Congress was defeated. But that does not mean that he has taken some correct decision in the interest of the country just to escape from that or his personal...
Tell me, Mr. Karunakaran, removing a sitting MP Alka Nath and trying to replace her by her husband Kamal Nath, and in the process losing the seat to the BJP, that's not a correct decision.
That's very unfortunate.
It was a mistake.
It was a mistake. I'm of that view. It is a mistake.
For which Mr. Kesari carries the responsibility.
No, he cannot. He is not responsible.
Who's responsible?
All of us are responsible.
Well, he's the party president.
All are responsible.
You said to me last time around 4 months ago when I interviewed you that the president of the party is the head of the team, his responsibility is greater. Does that apply here?
That is there, but I am telling you...
So his responsibility is greater?
For putting up a candidate, it is the responsibility of the working committee also.
So the whole working committee is to take?
Working committee is to decide.
All right.
But if president does it and then the working committee approves, no question of it.
Tell me something else.
What do you want?
Why did you choose this time to withdraw support? After all, we don't have a budget. We are in the middle of some very serious Indo-Pakistan talks, and the country faces the prospect of a nationwide truck driver strike. Surely there was a better time to choose for this sort of politicking.
That shows they are not, they should not be in the office.
What shows they shouldn't be in office? That there isn't a budget?
Nationwide strike.
There were several nationwide trucker strikes when Congress was in office.
But you see that the Prime Minister is confessing that his bureaucracy does not follow him. What will happen to this country? Is it a small thing? And the Speaker gave a ruling that collective responsibility is not there. What else?
So you decided,
you want...
So you decided, let's get rid of the Prime Minister and let's give ourselves a chance to take over instead.
That's a different matter.
That's what you did.
Then it is proved beyond any doubt. This Prime Minister is incompetent to continue as the Prime Minister. So we decided to withdraw. We should not be a party to that.
But tell me something. I want to talk about what you call incompetence. But first tell me, could you not have chosen from the point of view of national interest a better time? We don't have a budget.
There it is, the national interest is, as long as this government is there, we are convinced we won't be able to contain the communal forces.
Have you seen what's happened to the Bombay Stock Exchange? It's plunged by over 300 points in one day.
Why?
Because of despair with your move.
Who is responsible for that?
You.
It is the action of the government of India which forced us to withdraw our support.
If you had withdrawn support after the budget was passed, the nation would perhaps have understood the need to do so. Now you've created political uncertainty and economic uncertainty.
See, economic uncertainty and political uncertainty is the creation of the Prime Minister. It is not ours.
But you made it worse.
It is not our responsibility.
You've made it worse.
No, what we did? We say we are prepared to take up the responsibility and correct it. You give us chance.
All right. On that note, you're prepared to take up responsibility and correct it. I'm going to take a commercial break. I want in part 2 to talk about how you hope to take up responsibility and what corrections you intend. That's it for part 1. We'll be back just after the commercial break to continue this talk with Mr. Karunakaran. Don't go away. Welcome back to part 2 of our interview with Mr. Karunakaran. Mr. Karunakaran, let's talk about how you take up responsibility. Can you form a government with under 140 MPs?
If 44 members can form the government, 144 also can form the
They were only able to form a government because over 240 people were prepared to support them. Who's supporting you?
I say, when the election was over, the largest party was the BJP. They tried and failed. Then, in the interest of the country and keep the secular forces intact.
Forgive my interruption. You have less than 140 MPs. Where will you get 130 more?
My dear friend, if 44-member party can form the government, why not 144 members?
But where will you get the extra support from?
Let us see.
Let us see.
That's why I said that after 11th, only we can say who are all coming forward.
Are you
If nobody come forward, it is not our responsibility.
Are you saying that
so we say we are responsible to correct all defects of the present government,
but you
provide that we are given opportunity. Are you prepared to give us this opportunity? If you are also, whom you represent, if you are also thinking of the future of the country, which you were telling just now, why not you support us?
All right, let's come back to the question I asked. Are you saying that people will only decide to support Congress after the government falls on the 11th? Is that what you're saying?
Then only it arises. Till 11th, the government is there.
So your gamble...
No gambling.
No, you're gambling clearly.
No gambling. No gambling. No gambling. First thing is to unseat him.
Okay.
We will unseat him.
And then you're saying that MPs will be so scared of either an election or the BJP coming to power that they will end up supporting you as the next best thing.
Do you think the members are so, are they so weak to scare themselves? But our hope is, just now you were telling about the position in the country, to save the situation, to save the country, as the citizen of this country, real representatives of the people, they will come forward to correct the mistakes made by this.
What if MPs choose collectively after the fall of the Devagowda government not to support Congress, but to go for a dissolution?
All right, why are you worried?
And how will your party do in an election?
We will win the election. We are very confident we will win.
Sorry, repeat that for me again.
Pardon?
Repeat it for me. You will win an election?
We will repeat. I repeat, we will win the election.
An outright majority?
The choice, then in the coming election, not like previous election, in the coming election the choice is whether you should have communal forces in the power or secular forces. Then there is no party in between. The major major political parties in the country is the Indian National Congress and BJP. If we choose somebody other than this, what happened today will be repeated.
Mr. Karunakaran, to many people that is a dream that lies too far ahead. Let's come back to the ground reality of today. Which member of the 13-party United Front is going to support you?
They are to decide. Not myself.
What has the
not
TMC...
myself. We hope that all the parties will support us because...
What has the TMC said?
What?
What has the TMC said?
See, now they are the United Front. After the event on 11th, suppose the UF itself will meet and decide to support the Congress. How can you say that it
So your real hope is once again, break the front, Pick
No,
up the
no
pieces,
question.
break the front, pick up the pieces, form a government.
We are not going to break anybody. We have no idea of breaking anybody. We want only
Do you want to
straightforward
join the
support.
front? Do you want to join the front? Is that what you want to do? Do you want to join the front?
That we will decide at the appropriate time. What should be our political line of thinking.
You have just left open the possibility that you may end up joining the United Front to form
Today there is nothing. Today our only single point agenda. This we won't give support to this government.
Quite right. But between today and the 11th, you may in fact decide to join the government and create a bigger coalition.
No, never. No, never.
All right, tell me something.
We will not join this government at any cost.
Okay. Will you join a United Front-led coalition with someone else other than Deva Gowda as Prime Minister?
This is only hypothetical.
Of course it's hypothetical. What's wrong with the hypothetical
question?
No,
because you have made it clear that they are not going to change the leader. Then why should I?
Suppose they change their leader.
Where is suppose there?
But
suppose is not there. They say we are not going to change the
suppose
leader.
is there because I'm asking you a question. If they change their leader, will you be prepared to join the United Front and form a bigger coalition government?
I am not here to forecast on certain uncertain things.
But you're not.
Which according to me may not happen.
But they may happen too, and you're not saying you won't join them?
No, they may not.
Will a Congress-led coalition government under someone other than Sitaram Kesri, I won't say who, but someone other than Sitaram Kesri, will that be acceptable?
The leader of the Congress Legislative Party is the leader of the government. If at all, whenever we form the government.
But suppose the opposite. Suppose to form a government, the leader of the party has to decide he won't be the Prime Minister of the government. Then will Congress still form a government?
I see why you do expect me to reply or hypothetical question.
It may be a condition for support.
No.
The UF may come to you.
Why do you suspect them?
It's not suspect.
Why not do you think that they will be so?
You have just said that their leader is incompetent and he has to be removed at all costs. They may return and say, if you want our support, you choose a different leader. Suppose they say that.
When they say that, then we will reply.
So you're open to the possibility.
We will answer that.
Yes, but you're open to the possibility.
I'm not expected to open the possibility.
Would you like to be...
As a member of the CWC, it is first the Congress Working Committee is to discuss and decide. It is
if
not
you
one
are
man,
chosen,
it is not one man's view.
Yes, absolutely, I agree. But if you are chosen as the consensus candidate to lead a Congress coalition government that includes the United Front, will you accept?
Everything is open. The party will discuss. The CWC will discuss and decide.
So you think there is a possibility you could be that consensus candidate?
Pardon?
You could be that consensus candidate. You're willing to be the consensus candidate.
Whatever the Congress Working Committee direct me, I will do it.
Will there be a Congress-led government on April the 15th?
The government will be formed at a correct date.
So will there be a Congress government in power on April the 15th?
It is the President to decide.
By April the 20th?
It's not, I am not to decide.
It's not a question of decide. I'm saying, are you confident that you can form a government by that date?
I am not here to say on which date the government will be formed.
Will you form a government before the next elections?
We hope.
Only hope.
What else you want?
It's not a very confident answer.
Do you want confidence?
I expected you to say yes, definitely.
Yes, we are confident. We are confident we will be able to form the government.
On that note, Mr. Karunakaran, thank you very much for talking so openly to InFocus. That's it this week. We'll be back next week with another interviewee. But for today, from the residence in New Delhi of Mr. K Karunakaran, goodbye.